And I think the first rates are there. 22,270 is where we are at. So it's a good start for 50 points higher. I think we've had a 50-point higher start for 3 days in a row. And then, of course, things change. But 40 now, 43 now, 100 plus points in the Sensex, 73,231 is where the Sensex is now trading at. Mid-cap index is up 173, and you got the small-cap index, which is also starting, I think, about 1/3% higher. So these are indices and how they are starting up. The SUs was, all the rage yesterday. So we'll kind of course, look at that. Metals yesterday, and of course, lots of result reactions, some of which we highlighted as we started. So these are the indices, but it's all about stocks. Sonia's got those. Sonia.
It's all about stocks this morning, right? So we're going to begin with Bharti Airtel because there you have, good numbers. Q4 saw a very strong subscriber addition. A lot of brokerages, by the way, have raised their target price and earnings estimates on Bharti. So I have Jefferies with me. They raised their target price to 1590 from 1300. So Bharti is now gaining some ground, up almost 1.5%. But the other really strong set of numbers is Siemens. Just look at the move here. It's raging this morning, almost 9% higher. Not only have the margins expanded for Siemens, but the board has approved a demerger of the energy business into a separately listed company. So there's more shareholder value being attributed by the company. Great decision, at least that's what the street believes. And the stock is up almost about 8%. Remember, Siemens is also up 50% in the last 3 months. So despite the rally, we've seen build on to its gains. Shree Cement is the other one. Strong earnings coming through. The stock is up about 1%. But I want to look at what's happening with Colgate, because after a while, we've seen a decent set of numbers. The rural markets seem to be coming back, but the stock is under a bit of pressure now, down about 1%. Margins were at an all-time high. Disappointing set of numbers for Apollo Tyres. Barely any growth in the revenues and barely any movement in the stock this time around. Cipla, there is an impending large block deal where promoters are looking to sell 2.5% stake via the block deal. So the stock is tearing now on the upside, up almost about 5%. Keep that in mind. Thyrocare, strong set of earnings is what Thyrocare has reported this time. Just look at that, 4% higher, and it has been gaining ground. Oberoi Realty is the other one I'm looking at this morning. You have EBITDA growth of 7% for Oberoi Realty, up about 2% on the stock as well. Dalmia Bharat Sugar, strong earnings coming through for that one. So let's take a look there, 0.5% higher. V-Mart Retail had a good set of numbers. And then you have some of these stocks. Okay, look at V-Mart Retail. I notice a lot of these players that are in the rural space are now picking up pace. So let's just get V-Mart Retail back up on board. There you have it, 5.5% higher on this one. Big move. Post a good set of numbers. And finally, Bosch, Indus Towers, Canara Bank are included in the MSCI index. So these are some stocks that I'm looking at this morning. But this is the main, focus area. 22,250 is what's holding. 46 points higher on the index here right in front of you. And I think this also, 2,000 stocks on the advancing side, which means that the pullback that we've seen over the last couple of days is something that's holding for now. Nigel, over to you.
Well, Sonia, just take a look at a few stocks that I'm looking at. Thyrocare came out with a set of numbers late in the session yesterday. It's seeing some follow-through buying, a rank underperformer, good growth on the top line, margins as well improved. So that one is up close to around 4%. PB Fintech, that's another stock out there. It's holding with a gain, I think, of around 3% also. That's doing quite well. Sami Hotels, Shami Hotels should come up for you. That one as well is up close to around 3.5% in trade. So big up move is what you're seeing on some of these names. Salsa Technologies, well, that stock as well is up close to around 4% as we speak, and volumes are rather high on that one, so keep an eye out on that stock. On the flip side, Devyani, yesterday it came off a little bit from the top. Today as well, the stock is down close to around 2% or thereabouts. Sagar Cement, the numbers look quite disappointing. The only good news for them is they have valuation support, so that's why I don't think that stock is low. In fact, I think it's up close to around 1.5% or thereabouts. A fair bit of movers from the broader markets.
And absolutely, and it's a vibrant-looking screen as far as the broader markets are concerned, and there is actually a lot going on. Let me just quickly take a look at a few other movers and shakers. So I'll just look at a few volume-led gains, right? Look at Thermax. I think we pointed that out, and the results came, of course, day before yesterday. We had the management, actually before that, and we had the management day before yesterday. 9.5% on Thermax. It's the second biggest volume-led gainer. And, of course, the number one gainer is Siemens, as we've been highlighting. JSW Energy is at the number 3 position with volume-led gains, 4% on JSW Energy. There is Policy Bazaar, which starts with a 5% pop. I saw an upgrade from one of the brokers yesterday. And there is, of course, another insurance company which the IPO is open today. That is Go Digit Insurance. So that's some news flow from the industry. Bharti Hexacom 4%. Rima, of course, highlighted that earlier. Barmer Lorry is coming up with a 4% pop. You don't usually see that with the top volume traded list here, but it is. V-Mart is up 5%. We'll be speaking with the management of V-Mart on numbers and outlook going forward. So 2,300 there nearly on V-Mart. Repco Home Finance, South-based lender and 6%, 500 plus on that one. Swan Energy is up about 4%. So there is a lot happening in the broader market with lots of volumes as well. On the downside, Cochin Shipyard is pulling back a little bit, but it was a big move yesterday, a 10% move, so it's just some profit booking. DLF something similar with a 2% odd cut there. And you've got Apar Industries and Aarti Industries, which are down about 1.5%. Bosch is down about 2% or so as well. So that's the list, but 30 points on the Nifty to show for it.
I know we've spoken about this ad nauseum, but Thermax is really the one that's surging this morning. If you pull up the Thermax stock, right, look at that, 11% higher now. And the management has indicated that they will continue to be debt-free at all levels. So apart from the fact that the business is growing very well, the balance sheet has improved substantially, debt-free. Export business is going to be growing as well. So, this is one stock that the market definitely likes.
Absolutely. And the big one, right? It's a big name, well-owned institutionally, etc. as well, but not stopping it.